Thanks for tuning into the Adam Carolla Show. You can watch the full show on YouTube. Just search Adam Carolla Show and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also get the podcast wherever you like to listen. And for extra content, ad-free episodes, and more, you can head over to our Substack and sign up today. Podcasting isn't just about talking. It's about growing, engaging, and monetizing. And that's where PodcastOne Pro comes in. Whether you're an independent creator or a major brand, PodcastOne Pro gives you the tools you need to take your podcast to the next level. We're talking about premium hosting, advanced analytics, dynamic ad integration, and expert distribution, all designed to maximize your reach and revenue. Plus, with access to PodcastOne's industry-leading network, you'll be connected to top-tier advertisers and a massive audience. It's time to go pro and turn your passion into profit. Visit PodcastOnePro.com to get started today. PodcastOne Pro, the power behind the podcast. Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on the church. Get it on the mandate. Get it on. Jonathan Kite in studio. Very funny stand-up comedian, impressionist. Dates all over the place. Here to say, done stand-up with Jonathan, and the crowd loves him, and he's funny as shit. And thanks, it's not, you think he would lean on those impressions. No, does some, but funny.
Thanks, bud.
Just funny. All right, here's something interesting, and people should watch. But watch a lot of these like little history stories on YouTube.
Yeah,
and I'll watch everything from the real Red Baron, and then the next one will be like the Russian sniper who claimed 4,000 men, and then the next one is like, what happened to Rick Ocasek? And I'll just go like, all right, I'm in for all of it. I want to know what I want to be. I got 22 minutes to become an expert on Rick Ocasek, and I've got 22 minutes to figure out who this Russian farmer was before he became an assassin and took out, 300 Allied soldiers. So it's like,
that's the best thing about YouTube.
Actually, German soldiers. Yes, it's the best thing, right? Yeah. So I'm sitting around and I see a story. The first one I see, tell me how cool this is. It's still alive today. The guy's name is Jackie Ickx. And Jackie Ickx is a race car driver, and he's pretty renowned back in the day, F1, Le Mans, blah, blah, blah. Now, you want to talk about, like, calling your shot, like things we all wish we could have done, but we never did do it. Le Mans had what was called the Le Mans start. And the way it started is all the cars were parked on one side of the racetrack at a little angle facing the racetrack, though. Just sort of the rear was toward the stands. The front was toward the racetrack, but it was a little bit of an angle. You can see it in Ford v Ferrari. And the Le Mans start was all the riders, I don't know what that was, but all the drivers would be on the other side of the track at this straightaway.
Yeah.
60 feet away.
Right.
And they would turn 4 o'clock, they'd fire the gun, and everyone went sprinting across the track, jumped in their car, and took off.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is nobody put their seatbelt on or got fitted in their car, which takes a while. As someone who's raced a lot of cars, you got to get in that car. It takes you a minute to get belted in, harnessed in to that car. No seat belts. Some of them were literally didn't adjust their mirrors and stuff. And they got in the car and they took off. And now they're going down the Mulsanne Straight at 200 miles an hour and their seatbelt's not on.
Right.
And Jackie Ickx said, this seems dangerous. I don't think this is a good idea to have everyone running across the highway and then jumping in the car and taking off, the doors flapping open and shit, and no seatbelt.
It's like the movie, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic, by the way.
Incredible film.
I think it needs to be rewatched.
It's so good. It's so funny.
You want to talk about a cast?
There's everybody
in show business was in that movie.
Except you and me.
Yep. Even Lena Dunham, a 4-year-old Lena. No. So
she played one of the vehicles.
He said, Jackie X, who was only like 26, said, I don't abide. This is dangerous. And they said, well, tradition is tradition. So when they fired the gun for the 24-hour war, everybody else sprinted across the track and jumped in their car, and Jackie X walked. And then he got in his car, and he took his time putting his belts on. So now he's in last place.
Yeah.
Do you have tape of this? Yeah.
Weighing heavy on his mind, Jackie decided he would make a stand. As the clock hit 1400 and the tricolor waved, the grid sprinted to their cars. But not Jackie. Jackie walked, disregarding what was seen as crucial steps in gaining an initial advantage for the long race and sending the message that it was better to leave the grid safely rather than risk death. Jackie took his time walking to his GT40 and patiently buckled his 6-point seatbelt, leaving the grid in last place.
One of the John Wyer Fords got
would have been a
off to
5-point
slow
back
start.
in the day, but all right, let's not.
Got a very slow start.
Despite
Hassle.
seeing his protest, the message would truly be heard near the end of the first lap. As the lead drivers passed the start-finish straight, a large, ominous plume of smoke could be seen in the distance towering over the track. Just past the Maison Blanc bend, driver John Wolfe had placed 2 wheels of his Porsche 917 onto the grass and lost control, crashing into the barrier at high speed. He was violently thrown out of his car and died instantly. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt. A tragic event that proved that change was needed, and change was coming, but as was custom at the time...
So not only does he walk to his car and then wait and put his seatbelt on, he gets to within half a lap see a dude dead.
Yeah.
Who didn't put a seatbelt on because
Yeah.
they did a running start.
Right.
So a lot of vindication there, but he's still in last place. He's driving an old model Ford GT40, and he wins the race outright.
Wow.
That's just one of those stories that'd be nice to have. Like when you're a little bit older, you're talking to your grandkids.
Yeah.
You know?
You saved people's lives and you won.
Yeah, I mean, first off, you save people's lives because the next year they switched it.
Yeah, for sure.
Over, but also you want to talk about total vindication. There's a dead dude a half lap into this race.
Dude, that's the tortoise and the hare story right there.
That's right.
Pixar's going to remake that.
Jackie X.
Jackie X
as
is the tortoise.
Yeah. Dead German guy is the hare.
Yeah. Well, what year was that?
69.
Okay.
First year in 917.
Whoever we were at war with was the other guy for the movie, I'm saying.
Well, I don't know if Vietnam had a lot of entries into the vintage distance endurance racing. Not a lot of endeavors in that sport.
No, tuk-tuks.
I would argue you could judge a nation by whether they've ever entered a car in Le Mans. Because all the shit, all the nations we're bombing right now, there is no entry. There's no African entry. There's no Middle Eastern entry. There's no Vietnamese entry. There's no Filipino. They've never manufactured a vehicle that could make it a lap at Le Mans.
Yeah.
And I would judge their culture for that.
That's what the movie's about.
That's the undercurrent.
That's the undercurrent.
That's the under.
For those who know. If you know, you know.
For those who know. The other thing I was watching when I was watching YouTube is the story of Graham Parsons, who's an interesting story, who actually Graham Parsons was a guy who was from Florida, and he was a musician, and his family was rich, and everyone died of alcoholism, and he came out to California, went to New York, then went to California. He was part of this scene of trying to kind of folk, kind of, he was in the Flying Burrito Brothers.
He was an alt country pioneer.
Alt country. Emmylou Harris was his girlfriend, wife, whatever. Loved Joshua Tree. And at 26, goes to Joshua Tree and ODs on morphine and booze and the normal stuff, right? That's not the story. That's not the part of the story that's interesting. He's in the Hall of Fame, blah, blah, blah. He dies, and they're going to take his body, and they're going to bury him in New Orleans because his mom's dead, his dad's dead, and he has an evil stepdad. And his evil stepdad wants to take him back to New Orleans. And I say back to New Orleans. He's never been to New Orleans, but the stepdad's there. And wants to bury him in a place that that Parsons has never been. And it was sort of not, the exact opposite of Joshua Tree.
Not even on his bucket list.
No, there's no Mardi Gras floats going in Joshua Tree. He wants to bury him there so he can get the family inheritance because his family's wealthy, but everyone's dead. And there's some sort of law in New Orleans or Louisiana that if he's buried here, then we get the money. He gets the money, the stepdad. So his manager is a kind of groovy dude named Kaufman, his producer, still alive, I think 91 or something, looked it up. They even made a movie about this. He says this guy wants to be buried at Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing in writing, and there's no will, and he's 26. But somehow Kaufman, his manager, knows through discussions, if anything ever happens,
sure,
that's where I want to be buried. Well, the problem is the coffin and the body is at LAX, and it's fixing to go to New Orleans. So the manager does what dudes would never do today. You guys don't understand what dudes did in the 60s and the 70s. Fucking commandeers a hearse and goes to get the body. That no dude would ever do. No dude would ever do. Like, gets his buddy.
Yeah.
Gets the hearse.
Yeah.
Goes to TWA at LAX with fake paperwork and like a jumpsuit to go get the body.
That's what I want. When I meet, I'm very happy with my management if they're listening, and I know they are. Hi. But in the future, if I ever find new management, that's what I'm going to ask of them.
Yes.
That's the requirement.
Yeah. What was Kaufman's last name, Andrew? Sorry, first name. The point is, he did the most 60s, 70s dude move. And by the way, this stuff was routine back in the day. Guys did fucking nutty shit. Now they're all full estrogen and plastics and pussies, but they did fucking shit. Goes and gets Phil Kaufman, still alive, 91. Goes and gets the guy's body.
He owns an Uber coffin service now.
He will move your Uber.
He will move your body. He is a one-man moving crew.
Picks up the coffin with his buddy and takes it to Joshua Tree, drives out into the desert, pulls the coffin out, and lights the coffin on fire.
Amazing. That is a man earning his 10%.
Yes, even in posthumously.
Yeah.
All right. The authorities catch on. People catch on because there's a big fire. And somebody calls like a cops or the firemen or something like that. They show up. The coffin and the body are like half burned. They put him out. And now the stepdad brings the half burnt, charred body back to New Orleans. So he's buried in New Orleans, which he didn't want anything to do with, but he's buried there. And Kaufman, I don't know why you need to take stuff off the screen that you put on the screen 10 seconds ago. Phil Kaufman is his name. Like if I just go, what's his name? You don't have to put it on and then remove it. I might look up again. Phil Kaufman and his buddy both get fined $700. Like, there's no laws against really doing what he did.
Weird ticket.
To
get on your windshield.
Weird ticket. Yeah. Yeah. So
pre-grave robbing.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting. So there's so many of those crazy stories out there. I watch for 10 minutes. I see Jackie X and I see Phil Kaufman, and I'm like, wow.
I wonder who owns the rights to that stuff.
They made a movie starring Johnny Knoxville and Christina Applegate that we actually looked up.
What's it called?
Grand Theft Parsons. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that movie.
I didn't even know about it. It had two pretty big celebrities in it. 03, I think it was. And somebody made a movie about it, and it just never caught on. Oh, Michael Shannon's in it. Michael Shannon plays his buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
He always has a face like he just took a punch. I love Michael Shannon, dude.
Is there a Michael Shannon impersonation?
I did one. I tried to work on one a few years ago, but then he stopped doing mainstream movies. So like I do it in front of an audience, and they'd be like, "We don't know who that is." It was a call and response I didn't ask for.
All right, so the other crazy thing, because you just go down these rabbit holes.
Yeah,
I had this weird flashback to. So Graham Parsons was a country guy, but he's sort of folk guy, sort of like a rock guy, like sort of brought it together. And he would buy these nudie suits. I don't know if you know what a nudie suit is.
no.
Nudie was a guy who made all the Western apparel for Johnny Cash and Dolly Parton, like everyone who had one of those Western suits that was all embroidered and everything. That was Nudie. And that dude, I was like, oh my God, when I was a kid, I grew up in North Hollywood. He had a big nudie store on Lancashire. It was there for a million years. Nudie Khan. Now, the thing that's crazy about this guy is he's a Ukrainian guy who came to this country when he was like 10, and they didn't even know how to pronounce his name. They just, at Ellis Island, just went Nudie. Like his last name is 14 letters. They just went Nudie Khan.
Yeah.
Like, we'll make this easy on you, bro. We'll shorten it up over here.
That is not my name.
Yes, it is now.
My name is Cowboy Jim.
Hey, Vince Gill called. He wants to know where his suit is.
Hey, hold on 1 second. We are adding Ukrainian flag.
No. Vince Gill. It's not Ukrainian.
Oh, well, we'll sew it into the lining. He might be a supporter.
No. Nudie, you don't understand.
Yeah, he's going to love it. I'm going to give him the toads, the licking of the toads, and I will have them sitting in front of what look like lilies.
Toads.
Yeah, toads. This will be good. And in the back with just a giant Ukrainian flag.
Yeah, Vince Gill asked for a smoking six-shooter, not toads in the Ukrainian flag.
It will be, the six-shooter will be shooting a Russian.
No. All right. Dolly Parton's management's on the line. She wants to know where her suit is.
We're making a bikini for her. 2 giant Ukrainian flags.
On the titties?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's not what she's asking for.
But she will love it.
Okay.
That was his catchphrase.
We got the Gatlin brothers, too. They're pissed off.
I have together half the Ukrainian flag and the other half, and when they stand together, they are the Ukrainian flag.
Nudie. By the way, here's what people used to do.
I love this stuff, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Not only did Nudie start making suits, Western suits for everybody, he started making custom cars for everybody.
Fire.
With 6-shooters on the fenders and bullhorns. He made a Nudie car.
Wow.
You would go, show me the Nudie car. And it's like, all right. It's got silver dollars in the interior. Go to the exterior of the Nudie car. It's got big horns on it. It's got a 6-shooter on the fenders. It's got revolver. First off, everything would be illegal now. Everything would just be, that's not DOT approved, sir.
Did he make Elvis's car?
I don't know who all bought Nudie's cars.
Oh, memorable suits. It does say Glenn Campbell and Elvis Presley suits. But that looks like the Elvis's car.
He sold custom Western cars. The dude's Ukrainian.
I love it.
The dude comes here when he's 10. They respell his name. He moves to New York, and he starts as a seamstress. A tailor. He starts doing custom, like, apparel and lingerie, him and his wife. Then him and his wife move out to Los Angeles. They open a big store in North Hollywood, and they start selling Western suits and making. I used to walk past this guy's store.
That's nuts.
It was on Lancashire, where NoHo is, where I built the first Acme Theater up the street from where Nudie's is. And Nudie's on Lancashire, Dawson must have been there from like 56 to 91 or something.
He made clothes for my friend Kinky Friedman.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then the guy starts selling cars. By the way, see, none of this would be possible anymore because you'd need a license or something for everything, and they wouldn't have it anymore. Guy comes from Ukraine, doesn't fucking start ripping off social services and starring daycare centers and leering centers and AIDS and hospices and all that bullshit. No, he shows up, he goes to fucking work, and next thing you know, he becomes Nudies, which is not even his name, and him and his wife start making outfits for Elvis and Glenn Campbell.
He opens a dealership.
And then starts selling Pontiac convertibles with 6-shooters on them. This
guy was the original Etsy, by the way.
Yes. What year was his Lancashire store? So I grew up in North Hollywood, and we would go by this place, but it was like 1977, and I had nothing to do with Western anything. I just came from dumb people from North Hollywood. Didn't have horses or guns or 6-shooters or nothing. So I just walked by. I never even went in it, I don't think, because I was like, I don't have any money, and I have no idea what all this is.
And where would you wear it?
Where would I wear it? I have friends if my friends found out I had a nudie suit, they'd beat the shit out of me. 1963 is when it moved to Lancashire. But when did it close? Because basically my entire childhood, that place was there, and I would go look at the fiberglass horses in the window and the Cadillac.
Hats? Did he make hats too?
I just remember.
That's why they're all convertibles, because they're 10-gallon hats you got to wear.
I remember thinking, what kind of name is Nudie? And it's just short for whatever his Ukrainian name. What is that?
Nudie is short
We'll
for...
just call you Nudie.
What about Nuriezgabazga?
That's your wife.
My wife is Nuda.
Nuda? All right, we'll call you Nudie.
Nudie and Nuda.
He literally pulls up to Ellis Island, and they're like, we're just going to shorten this shit right up. Yeah.
Nuta.
Yeah, now how does he say his last name?
Kotlaryanko.
What is that again, Nudie?
Nuta Kotlaryanko.
All right.
Your cone.
Yeah. And by the way, the Ellis Island guys are like, look, we're doing you a favor. Because no one's going to be able to pronounce your fucking last name.
That's what happened with us at Ellis Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because our last name was Kachalich.
Oh, really?
And like 150 years ago or whatever. And then when they got there, they were like, yeah, you're Kite.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Look, it's easier to get along. Closed in 94. So 31-year run on Lancashire. Now you have to understand, basically, that shop was there from the day I was born to the day I got onto radio and moved out of the Valley and went to go buy a house in Hollywood. That's my relationship with Nudies. It was there, always there, never not there.
It said he died in 84, so they were kicking it for 10 more years.
Yeah, there's probably, so, there's sort of like, there's definitely intellectual property there, like Van Dutch or something. Von Dutch, sorry, Von Dutch. There's something, he's not around, but Von Dutch is around, like the name is around, and there must be someone carrying that on, T-shirts and jackets and stuff.
There is a Japanese company, I believe, called Nudie Jeans.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it's the same, if they had to buy the rights to it, but yeah, Nudie jeans are very successful. They're amazing jeans, I think, out of Japan.
Probably the same name. But anyway, Dawson, you were going to say, what? Nothing.
I just got lost in trying to find the picture of Kinky. There's a great picture of Kinky Friedman in a Nudie's jacket.
Yeah, well, everyone who was somebody had to wear Nudie stuff back back in the day.
The thing I was going to say was, you got shit for wearing cowboy boots. If Nudies was still around and you busted out a Nudies jacket in front of your friend, how fast would it have crap on it? Literally.
I worked with a dude installing closets who was, when you work installing closets or cleaning carpets or doing earthquake rehab, you don't work with a lot of fun dudes and a lot of cool dudes and guys you want to hang with on the weekend.
Right.
Once in a while, some dude pops up on the job and then, like, they're kind of cool.
Yeah.
And this guy's name was Kelly, and he came from Durango, Colorado, which was exotic to me. And he had a band, and he was pretty good. And he said, yeah, come out to the show on a Saturday night. And he was up on stage rocking it. He was wearing some cool black cowboy boots. And I was like, hey, man, those boots look cool. And he's like, I got them. You should get a pair of cool boots. Ladies love them. Make you taller, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. And like the next day, me and Kelly went out boot shopping or something. I got my just plain black cowboy boots.
Yeah.
And then following weekend, me and my North Hollywood buddies were going out, and I stepped out in the living room and they're like, what the fuck's going on with those boots? And I'm like, cowboy boots? Take them off. I'm like, what? We're not going out with that shit. Get rid of that shit. You don't wear cowboy boots. Where the fuck you get those cowboy boots? And I was like, it's just shoes, really. And they're like, fuck that. You're not a cowboy. Get that shit out of here. So I had to take my boots off. But the point is if I showed up in a nudie suit, I would have been stabbed by those guys.
By the way, that's what you do. If this ever happens again, you wear the nudie suit and the cowboy boots, and they go, take that nudie suit off. You're like, they're not focused on the boots.
Yeah. Distract them.
And you keep the boots.
Yeah, jingle the keys up around the jacket.
Oh, what's going on up here? They're like, below the ankle, I'm safe.
Yes, you're right. I should have picked up a nudie suit. The nudie suit would fly in the face of everything the Carolla stood for, which is A, it would be expensive. And then B, it'd be ostentatious.
Yeah.
And then B, you'd be telling people, look at me and look how good I look. And all that was all stuff that we would have never abided by. The Corollas would have been against everything that Nudie stood for.
Right.
The car, the guns, the big American car, the pistols for the door handles. They would have said, to all of it.
But what about the guy behind it? The hardworking guy that got here and did it.
They wouldn't have taken the time to really even explore or appreciate that guy. They would have just been, they probably would have called him a sellout. Like, he's coming over here.
Yeah, he's selling out of those suits.
Pretending to be John Wayne. He's not John Wayne. He's just kissing American ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does. He buying these cars, putting these guns on it. Like, this is almost like a black female Republican, where they just go, ugh, worse. You know what I mean? Sellout.
Yeah.
Yeah. My family would have looked at him as a sellout, but also everything in that place had to cost money, and it all sort of made you feel good and brought attention to you. They would have been fundamentally opposed to everything in that store. But I'll tell you what, Lancashire, where Nudies was, down the street, on the other side of Magnolia or Laurel, whatever, that was the thrift shop strip. So we would go to Lancashire, but we wouldn't go to Nudies. We'd go to the thrift shop.
Yeah.
When you walk into the thrift shop, people forget different stores had different smells.
Of course.
There was the Army surplus smell.
Yes.
There was the hobby shop smell.
Yes.
There was the thrift shop smell. There was like the tire place smell. Like every store had its own unique
Yankee
smell.
Candle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's intentionally a smell.
But I'm saying that it's something that they could bottle. Like if you went in there, you immediately knew what this was.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I knew what Army surplus smell was versus thrift store smell versus pet store smell. Every place had its own smell, and you'd walk into that thrift shop, and it'd be like, the smell of failure and mildew. Like it was just loser.
Were they ever washed? There was. You know what it was? It was the smell of sitting water.
it had a little mildew to it with a lot of miles on it. Like when you'd get into a cab and the guy was a smoker.
Yeah.
And just had a ton of miles on it.
Little BO.
He didn't need to be smoking.
No.
He was just a smoker.
Oh, yeah.
And he had some BO and he lives in that fucking cab.
The only time he wasn't smoking is when you got in.
Right. So you kind of knew, and we'd walk in there, and then you just pick through the remnants of other people's lives.
Oh, I love it.
You don't.
When I was a kid, we used to go to the thrift stores in Chicago. Mm-hmm. I found some wild stuff. London fog jacket, trench coats.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I found some gold in them thar hills.
We would get things like board games, but pieces would be missing.
Brother. That's the game of life. By the way, that should be how they sell the game of life.
It's
with shit missing.
Shit missing.
Because that's how that's your game of life. Exactly.
This is what it is.
This is your life.
It's not all one big nudie suit and a convertible with a 6-shooter on it.
Brother, I'm going, as soon as I leave here, I'm going on eBay trying to find a nudie suit. Next time I come back, I'm going to be wearing tits to tails nudie.
They're on there. Expect to pay anywhere from $2,000 to $9,000.
Ethos. You know, the second I became a father, well, that was the first time I took a look at life insurance seriously. Part of being a man is preparing those you love for life without you, and that's why I have life insurance. And I encourage all my friends to get it too. Ethos makes getting life insurance fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. There's no medical exam. Just answer a few simple health questions. Trust me, you don't want to wait too long with something this important. It's Ethos. Get Ethos today, right, Dawson?
Take 10 minutes to get covered today with life insurance through Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/Adam. That's ethos.com/Adam. Application times may vary. Rates may vary.
HomeServe. Owning a home is amazing until it's not. 1 minute, you're sipping coffee. The next minute, you're ankle deep in water from a burst pipe. Repairs don't care about timing or your budget. That's where HomeServe comes in. Regular homeowners insurance usually doesn't cover a lot of the day-to-day wear and tear stuff. Plumbing failures, HVAC breakdowns, electrical issues. It's like a subscription for your home starting at as little as $4.99 a month. I use HomeServe, and it gives me a lot of peace of mind, knowing I'm not going to get crushed by expensive repairs. It's HomeServe, right, Dawson?
Join the millions of customers who trust HomeServe. For 50% less your first year, go to homeserve.com/Adam. That's homeserve.com/Adam for 50% less. Savings compared to renewal price. Void in Florida.
2 to 9. So there has to be an authentic nudie suit.
Look at that green jacket.
You got to pay a premium for an authentic nudie suit versus a repop, right?
Yeah, there's actually some expensive repops, but the classic nudie stuff has the collar tag that's stitched in, and you can tell that.
Adam, I'm wearing that green jacket to your Christmas party this year.
Well, Graham Parsons was burned in it, so I don't know if you.
Well,
no, yeah.
I'm going to New Orleans then.
Yeah, what is a authentic nudie suit going for now? And I'm sure this guy I don't know if he had a thick accent. He showed up here when he was like 10, but his parents definitely were full Ukrainian. But
he looks like Boss Hogg, doesn't he?
Yes, authentic vintage nudie suit tailored by Nudie. Rodeo tailors typically goes from $2,500 to $15,000. Today, musicians can command. So if it's Glenn Campbell's suit, $25,000 to $50,000.
Wow,
it's kind of a nice legacy. You die and your shit goes up in price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's in museum. I bet they have it at the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, they have to.
They have to. And by the way, these are beloved musicians who were iconic looking, as much for their face and sound as they were for their wardrobe.
Also, it's a nice windfall for the kids. You know what I mean? Like, Pop left, couple of suits. I sold them for $40,000 each.
Who are
you? Know?
I'm Nudie Jr.
Yeah.
Nudie the third.
That's right.
Oh, I love that.
I want you to meet my sister Trudy.
Or Nuda. Yeah, Trudy, Nuda. Judy to Nuda.
Judy to Trudy.
Wow, look at that.
My dad left, and he left me a fucking cardigan that has almost no street value whatsoever.
It itches.
I wish he would have left a couple of nudie suits behind
Give me something to wear.
to whack up.
One boot,
Something to
not
put
your
on.
size.
Something to put on eBay.
Yeah, come on.
Man. So Dawson, if there was an Elvis nudie suit and there was a picture of Elvis in that suit,
That's quite a few $100,000.
and that thing went to auction at Christie's or something.
Yeah, $500,000.
It would
Easy.
be
Easy.
buku bucks, right?
Have to be.
And then from Elvis, we would just keep going down to
The Glenn Campbell one would surprise you probably. Glenn
Yeah.
Campbell would fetch just under Elvis, I think.
yeah. All right. Well, anyway, wait, hold on.
Here we go.
Permanent grant, stage worn jumpsuits, custom made nudie stage jumpsuits from the 70s have previously carried auction price of $18K to $20K, sold upwards of $300K. Historically, are these Elvis related? Yeah, okay. Oh, those jumpsuits.
I was
yeah.
just going to say, he made the jumpsuits?
Did Nudie make
Yeah,
the
I bet
jumpsuits?
they'd go $500,000.
I
I
mean,
don't know. But
those are the
if
best.
he made Glenn Campbell's, I'm sure he made Elvis's.
Yeah, but now we're going from suits to jumpsuits.
the jumpsuits, yeah.
That's what we're saying.
No.
No. Well, the famous Hollywood Western tailor, Nudie.
That was another Ukrainian guy, Bill Ballou.
Jumpsuits designer Bill Ballou. All right, created a comic.
He called them the bare necessities.
That's a good one. All right, Kite.
What's up, baby?
Enough about me and YouTube. You're talking off the air about Trump
Oh, yeah.
having a little shart action.
Well, because there's so many. You brought up an interesting point that we were looking at a video. I think of who was it? Schumer,
Chuck Schumer,
where there's a fart sound, and
Right.
then people. You asked. I think the question that a lot of people ask is, did somebody add that in post to make them look foolish?
Right.
And I've been doing a joke on stage that there is a video in the Oval Office that's quite lengthy. I think we have the end clip of it where people are talking and Trump is sitting there and listening, and he lets one go that you'd think they added in post, but there is a woman in a green outfit, which you can clearly see, whose eyes betray him.
and she's directly behind
So
him.
there's nobody who hears it and smells it. I mean, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is probably too old to smell, but he can't tell if it's him. But you see her betray him, and then he immediately asks everybody to leave. This
Okay.
guy's in the middle of a speech, by the way. It's a very long video, but this is the short version.
All right.
The DOJ on addressing that because chemists are coming up with new opioids faster than the government has been able to keep up. We're going proactive on these new chemicals.
That's great. No, I hear fantastic things. Thank you all very much. We really
Yeah, she
appreciate
does
it lot. Thank you,
she does a
guys.
kind of a weird nod and a turn toward the cheek.
Oh, she knows it. She's looking like, did he just shit himself? And then right away, by the way, this is going on. He goes, "This is fantastic. Everybody, goodbye." I'm like, right away, he's just like, I said, he's like a flight attendant on Poopy Airlines. He's like, bye-bye, bye-bye, everyone leave, goodbye, unless you're the Charmin Bear. Then you're the Charmin Bear, you can stay. We have a changing table in here.
You know what I'd like to do? The next time, all right, Andrew, we can do this. You ready? The next time Maxine Waters or some politician I don't like, Karen Bass, gives a speech, I would like to hire one of your groundling buddies to stand behind her. Two of them. I'll get two of them. I'll just mix them in, the crowd, right? And then at some point, we're going to synchronize them reacting to a fart. There will be no fart. But we're going to go on, 3, 2, 1, and then everyone make your best somebody just farted face, where you kind of lean back. You do it simultaneously. Then we'll get the footage and we'll add the fart in post.
Yeah.
And then no one will ever question it, ever, especially when you see the two dudes at the same time reacting,
Well,
right?
that's the only reason when people always say, like, that's all added in post. That video came across my feed. I'm like, there's no way that woman is reacting to him sharding himself.
Yes. If everyone just has the Easter Island face, then nobody farted.
No. And she's right there.
She's right there.
She's at third base.
Yes.
And he's about to slide home.
That's right. Right. She's rounding the corner.
Yeah.
All right. This is Chuck Schumer talking about Iran.
Now on Iran and the NDAA.
Well, he just dropped a bomb.
To know, of course, how and why this chaos is spreading through the
That's own
streets. We
bunker
need
buster himself.
complete
All right, we're going to start at the beginning
investigation that's
again.
independent.
You almost see the flaps of his jacket move.
Now on Iran and the NDAA.
But that, hold on.
Now,
That's a little too perfect. That is exactly where you would put it.
Yes.
That's like, so that's why when you showed me that off when we were getting in here, I was like, that feels a little bit, I mean, it's funny, but it feels a little too perfect.
Listen, I think we should do an experiment. The next time you got to fart, try to read a sentence and fart at the same time. I wonder if in natural conversation, your body goes to the fart as the primary thing.
No,
expel this while
You
you're
can't
talking.
sneeze and fart at the same time, or your body becomes one of those pull tabs, those old fireworks.
Yeah, with the
You
pop.
explode at both ends.
I feel like farts draw my concentration away from what I'm saying, so I go fart focus and then back to what I'm doing.
Well, also,
Swalwell did the same thing. He farted on live TV, and he farted right in that exact spot where you would think, if you're going to cook this, you're going to put it there.
By the way, it sounds like his asshole is mic'd.
Well, there's a problem. All right, first off,
Well, look, that's audio engineering
with
101, bro.
nobody,
Always mic the
if
ass.
there's nobody who can react to the fart, then you just farted in a forest, and
That's what
there's
I'm saying.
plausible deniability.
100%.
It's plausible deniability if nobody ever reacts. All right, so Chuck's got that working for him. Now, the other thing is these guys are getting old, and the fart. You know, my theory is, you know, when you get older, I find myself doing it. Like when you get up off the sofa and you go, yeah. I don't think that's straining. I think that's covering a potential fart. Because you get me off a sofa now, fart may come out, and I may be in company.
Oh, yeah, you had a seal.
Yeah, you had a seal. You just broke the seal. You busted the hymen. But I think the grunting is to cover the potential fart. Right. That's why old guys grunt when they get out of the chair. It's a safety measure. You don't need to make a noise when you're getting off a fucking Barca lounger.
People go down because they know they can't get up. It takes so much time. But they go, damn, I got a fart. I better sit down.
Yes.
And then they sit down so that they can go, oh, wait a minute. No, I don't. And
I think it was adopted by old guys who are farting when they're getting out of their chairs. Okay, number one. That's my theory.
I believe
it's
it.
evolution. Because, again, it's kind of weird because old guys, when they get out of the chair or off the sofa, they go, but if you tell the same dude, hey, I got a box of books, can you put it in the trunk of the car? Then they'll go, They just pick it up and throw it in the trunk.
How did Stephen Hawking cover his farts?
Oh, my God. I don't know. And by the way, you could tell when he farted because his wheelchair shot forward like 30 feet.
Yeah.
All right, let's listen to Swalwell farting.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard...
I mean, come on.
See what I mean? The fart takes your focus away.
Oh, he had
It's
to pause.
It takes complete
He
control
had
of
to
your
pause.
body. I
Oh,
don't
dude.
think you can speak and fart at the same time.
I don't like
may be
how
right.
strong the eye contact is.
Also, Swalwell really, you can tell how dumb he was when he would talk. You just sort of look in his eyes. You know what? Here's what you're explaining. You ready?
Chris looks like he's farted.
Chris Matthews. I saw I also watched footage of, I watched YouTube on the Red Baron.
Okay.
Died at 26. Killed 80. Shot down 80 planes.
Yeah.
26. Okay. By the way, young dudes, Jackie Ix, 26. Red Baron, 26. You know what the average 26-year-old dude does now? Fucking
TikTok?
Fucking nothing. Like, They fucking barely have their driver's license, much less winning Le Mans, World War I, and shit like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, you guys know think about this technology. You're the Red Baron, right? You're flying alone in your airplane. You've got 50 caliber machine guns. Where are the machine guns mounted? World War I. They're right in front of you. Right. Where are you firing? In front of you. What's in front of you?
The propeller.
Propeller.
You're firing through the propeller.
Yeah.
How you doing that?
I would think it was underneath it, but yeah.
You're underneath the propeller?
No, I would think that the
barrels
are somehow underneath and the trigger mechanism goes to it. I don't
So
know.
then they land on the guns?
No.
All right. I'm just sorting this out. You ever seen the guns underneath the Red Baron airplane?
Are they spread wide enough to be
I thought they were just outside
of
of the propeller. No?
The propeller's 6 feet across.
Oh, shoot.
So how do they do it? They have an interrupter. It's a cam.
Yeah, so it pauses the propeller briefly.
So you're
No,
flowing.
it doesn't. You can't pause the propeller briefly.
Right,
at full.
what is it?
Boy, you guys.
Does it
What goes on?
retard the propeller?
No, you can't fire the gun when it's going by. It doesn't let you fire. It's not on the propeller side. It's on the gun side. I mean, it has to be on the gun side. The propeller's going at 8,000 RPM and full throttle. They can't interrupt that. Also, it won't fly the plane.
So explain this.
You guys don't know stuff. It's weird. If you know how to build stuff, then you know what the answer to everything is, because nothing else.
But if the propeller never stops and they have to shoot through the propeller, how do they get through the propeller? Does the
timing of the timing of the gun
only when?
Yes, the timing of the gun will not let you do it.
That's some heavy duty science.
Remember how Sean Connery got onto the Rock?
Yeah.
You remember Sean Connery?
Sean Connery.
Yeah, so he timed it. Remember? He had to get on there. The fire
Of course,
was
it had to
going.
roll underneath
Thing was going to
and-
roll underneath.
And speaking of Sean Connery, he shot out his back propeller in Last Crusade, which is probably factually inaccurate now.
The wing.
Or he shot out the wing.
Rudder.
That's
it's
correct.
the rudder.
Yeah,
He
the
goes,
rudder.
I don't know what to tell you. He
Shot
goes,
out his back propeller.
he goes, Junior,
Fucking guys are gay.
they got us. That's what he said in the movie. He goes, they got us. I don't know. Because he was going this. He had a turret.
Yes,
And it-
there's
he
a
blew out the
okay. There is a cam that does not let you fire until the right time, and I'm agreeing with Dawson. I think your ass is hooked up to your mouth cam, whereas you can't just talk and fart at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a little stutter, just like the Red Baron, a little interruption in the mouth move when the ass opens up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It took a long way. That was a long road to get to that point. But you guys know what I'm talking about now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ass, cam, same as the Red Baron and his guns. Now, later on, the Germans moved a fucking cannon into the nose cone of the Stuka, which is, I don't even know how you put a cannon through the nose cone of it, but fucking Germans, man. Look the fuck out.
So that would be the center of the propeller,
Yeah,
correct?
and
okay.
all of it, there is no computers anywhere. It's all mechanical. Everything is a cam, turning a thing, making contact with a thing. By the way, the first guy to test out the interrupter, the propeller interrupter, that guy had to be had a certain amount of trepidation. I mean, like, we're going to get up there and you did 10,000 feet and then get up the throttle and then just go ahead and squeeze down on that machine gun in front of you.
Or he had to have a nickname like Crazy Carl.
Crazy Carl, yeah. So there's an actual model of the interrupter that would not let you fire when you were shooting off the propeller. Super easy mechanical shit that, by the way, this is Germany circa 1917. There are parts of the world that don't have this technology today. I mean, there are parts of the world that couldn't figure this out today, couldn't manufacture this, what the Germans were doing 100 plus years ago. Sorry. We had to go to the Nazi museum to take a look at it. But it's just a simple cam and a bump, and it basically says, these are the moments you can squeeze the trigger. Well, by the way, if you're holding the gun, you're just squeezing the trigger. You're holding it down, just waiting for the cam to come around and let you do it. Anyway, that's why you can't talk and fart.
That's just good science.
You see the way I mechanically tie everything together?
Yeah. Also, if we were at war right now, we'd all be dead.
Dawson's got the guns where the landing gear is.
He's shooting the ground.
Yeah, now later on, to be fair to used tos, they moved them out to the wings, but that ain't World War I.
No.
Those are cloth planes. This is now we're getting into World War II out on the wings, which is still pretty fucking nuts if you think about it. But 80 men tried, 80 men died, and they're all buried in the countryside.
And none of them in New Orleans.
That's right, with Graham Parsons.
None of them.
Yeah. 26 dudes like fucking killing people.
I mean, the amount of 26, and then what are they doing today?
At 26, going for their learner's permit, talking to their friends about some experience they're going to have over the weekend. Like, they're doing the Taste of Toluca Lake, and they got sushi.
Farmer's market.
Market. They're eating a bunch of shit. They've had some sort of idea about something, and there's some Netflix thing they're streaming.
Yes.
And then there's, a fair amount of masturbation.
Yes.
And that's what the average 26-year-old is up to today.
Still flying stick, though.
Yeah.
That's the masturbation.
Not winning World War I, not shooting down aviators, and not winning the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
No.
That is not what they're doing.
No.
As a matter of fact, couldn't operate any of those vehicles in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Yeah. I went to Pahrump and went to Spring Hill, was I? Drove a Radical. Radical's a crazy race car. Miniature little screaming, little crazy race car around their 2.8 mile track. Crazy little beast of like a wasp, like small engine, light, slicks, tight, fast, paddle shift, crazy little vehicle. See if you can find, I don't know, in-car footage of a Radical going around a racetrack and
you just
Spring
did this?
Mountain. I just did it. Yeah.
Fun?
It was totally fun for me because I know how to drive race cars, and I've never driven a Radical, but you can, we'll show you a little footage of it.
That's what you drove?
Yeah, they're purpose-built.
Wow.
They're purpose-built little race cars, and they just kind of scream around the track. And they show you the track, and they show you sort of how to run the car and like what to do and stuff. Pahrump, yeah, they have crazy little Radical car races. Do a little in-car footage.
How fast are they going?
Get up to like 110, maybe. It's a tight little track. It's got 17 or 18 turns on it, so it's kind of snug. But these things scream around this track. And so I had a fun time with it. Turn it up. I'll show you this thing with it.
All right, they should all be flat out now. Oh yeah, you can feel the G-forces through here. Oh, this is insane. Steering's relatively light, but you can still really feel it.
Yeah, they're really fast little, quick little, bespoke little race cars. Anyway, I got in, did some hot laps, followed the instructor around in a Radical. Everything was good. And then the guy put Mike August in it. And then they did 2 laps, and then the guy told Mike, get out of the car. You have no idea what you're doing. Mike had no idea what he's doing, but it was their fault. They put Mike in a race car, and Mike was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, I said, he'll drive the wheels off a rental car, man.
Yeah.
But he does not know how to drive a race car.
Cars for him are disposable.
Yes.
Once he's done with them, they're like Kleenex. Goodbye.
No. Yeah, like you treat your bitches. Gone. Daddy
done.
gone.
In the trash.
Yeah, so it was funny, but I had a great fun time doing it. Pahrump is, like, they built, there are all these places now that are like executive racetracks.
Yes. Somebody asked me to go to something similar, not like this. A couple weeks ago, I was out of town. It was in Phoenix doing stand-up. But they were all going to go.
Yes.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. People buy condominiums. They build homes and condominiums on the track. It's part of the track. And then they keep their car in their condominium. And it's kind of like John Travolta in his Florida airport condominium or whatever, where you actually just go, I want to go to a place. My cars will be at that place.
Yeah.
They'll maintain my cars. I'm rich. I want to go there and stay the weekend. And they have a clubhouse and they have a bar and they have a restaurant and stuff. And they have a track. They have safety workers. They have all the cornermen and all the stuff. And I'm just going to go there and race my car. And then I'll go home. Back to Bel Air, where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's ones in Palm Springs. There's ones in Pahrump. There's one. They're opening more and more of them. It's kind of a rich, whitey trend or something.
It does. That's what it looks like. That looks like a rich kid's version of Hot Wheels.
Right.
Where they get to be in one of them.
Yeah, it was totally fun. They had all the accoutrements and everything. They have like the shop, the race school, the instructors, and the whole thing. And people live in houses on the track, and it ain't cheap. But if you're into it, it's good.
It's right, and it's such an elite thing.
Yeah, and the dudes that are really into it are really, really into it. So we went to Pahrump. We did that. Guy made the chef there made chicken paprikash for me.
How was it?
Delightful, delectable, delicious, and he made goulash.
Ooh,
goulash and chicken paprikash for me.
I worked at Cheesecake Factory.
Oh yeah,
I think that there was one time for 6 months they tried out a goulash.
Well, there's 197 other offerings on the menu, right? Why not goulash?
So if you don't like goulash, they also have chicken fingers.
Yeah.
But they were trying to get more international.
Uh-huh.
They had Hungarian goulash, I'm almost positive.
Which one did you work at?
I worked at one in Illinois, and then I got a job there so that I could transfer out here because everybody that I knew who came to Illinois or came from the rest of the country here couldn't get a job. So then I worked at one in Illinois, transferred to the one at the Galleria in Sherman Oaks.
The Galleria in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah.
Oh, I know where that one
Which
is.
had its grand opening on, you guessed it, 9/11.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
I've been to that one. I used to go there to watch movies when I was in high school and stuff. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you worked at that one.
But that one, I worked at the newer one because the earthquake took that one out.
Yes.
And so they rebuilt it in the 90s, like late 90s or whatever, and I started working in early 2000s.
Waiter?
Yeah.
How were you?
I mean, the best.
You're good, right?
Yeah.
You like people, you're hard working, you're friendly.
And you would meet so many cool people there. I met the guy, you know the Magic Bullet? That thing, that infomercial at night that's like a chop thing or whatever?
Yeah, you're talking about a vibrator, but yeah.
But yeah, that thing too. You could use it there.
Yeah.
Listen, it's your Magic Bullet. You use it wherever you want.
That's right.
So I met the creator and his whole family.
Uh-huh.
And so I literally had been up till I'm a night owl. I was up till 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning watching the infomercial, and I redid the infomercial for him and his family, playing all the characters.
Really?
At the table. It was awesome. Yeah,
Wow.
you would meet the best people. Like, people would come in there. Very interesting. I met a lot of cool people.
Why is it that so many people who are waiters and waitresses bitch so much about it? Like, I've noticed,
don't know.
Maybe because
That was
they're
never me.
actors or actresses or something. Like, first off, I'm the only person in comedy or show business that was never a bartender or waiter or whatever. I fucking work construction. It was hard work and it sucked. And then they got these people and they would always commiserate like, oh, there's somebody and they want another straw or I got to get them a toothpick, which means I have to go to the server's counter to get the toothpick. It's like, oh, shut up, you bitch. You're getting tips. You're eating for free. You're fucking sitting in air conditioning.
I was going to say.
You're fucking the bartender. So shut the fuck up.
I always liked it. And I always tell you, like I always say, because I'll do jokes about restaurants and I always use Cheesecake Factory as like the premise. And I met great friends there, great drinking buddies. It was a social circle. When I got to LA, I didn't know anybody. Those became my friends. Right. It was great. I loved it. I left on very good terms.
You get good tips.
Great tips. And I worked as an actor the whole time.
Right.
So like I was working as an actor, and then one day I just was like, oh, I'm working now too much as an actor. Right. Like to still work here. So I left. It was always a very good experience for me.
What's the eating policy?
They kind of fuck you. I mean, with all this food that they're throwing in the trash, they only gave you like a 40% discount. And if you worked at double, you could get a green ticket, but you couldn't get like the steak Diane or the goulash. Yeah. You could probably get the chicken fingers or like the Cobb salad. Yeah. And I always thought, come on. I mean, obviously unlimited soda and coffee. So I drank, I put a few pots away.
Right.
I'm a big coffee guy.
I couldn't work at a restaurant because I can't throw away food.
There were guys that I worked with who ate off people's plates.
Good for them.
Yeah, like Templeton the Rat from Charlotte's Web.
I listen. I'm a big Templeton the Rat fan.
I love him.
Listen. I have gone off of room service, pushed out into the hallway, and I'll tell you the greatest moment of my life. Me and the aforementioned Mike Wheels August. Sitting at the Burbank airport at the bar, sitting next to a guy who ordered the airport Mega Deluxe sandwich, from Flavortown.
Yes.
And then the Mega Deluxe salad. It's literally $83 worth of salad and sandwich. Guy took one shot off the salad, one bite out of the sandwich. Next thing you know, he hears his flight call. Yeah. He gets up and he leaves. Mike and I just look at each other and we're like, oh, yeah. By the way, this didn't happen when we were in high school. This happened 3 years ago.
I was going to say this happened this weekend.
We're both literally millionaires and go, give me that shit. None of it's going in the garbage.
My father's the same way. He'll finish his food. My mother will have half of her food, and then they'll switch plates.
Yeah.
My father's like a raccoon going through trash. Yeah. I love him. It's the best.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You got to pick your eating buddies. Because I used to have eating buddies. I could always count on them. They couldn't get through all their fries, and they couldn't get through all their burger. I don't know who the fuck these people are, but I knew them. And it's like you could count on at a certain point, they would stop and push the plate, and then you just give it here.
Bro, it's called the relay race. You just take that baton.
Yeah, take that baton.
Yeah.
So you work with guys who could not. He'd eat off the plate.
Oh yeah, I remember this guy, but he would eat off of I remember one of them was chicken fingers, and he was going to go put him in the bus, bin or whatever. And I remember him just eating back there on the line, just taking the food off as he was putting it in.
Well, it's one thing to finish off somebody's pizza with 3 bites in it,
for sure,
which I still would do.
I had a buddy do it in Vegas. Literally was walking up and down the hallways.
Drunk.
Dude, we were drunk as skunks.
Right.
And then he was just opening up literally room service things that were outside the door. He's like, there's pizza here. And he just went at it like a Ninja Turtle.
Well, let's put it to you this way. Everyone gets all freaked out about germs. But you would happily go out clubbing that night, meet some chick, make out with her in a fucking bathroom stall, and then go back to your room and go full 69 with no dental dam. So who's the germaphobe?
You're raw dogging a stranger. You're not going to raw dog this pizza?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'll fuck the shit out of that pizza.
Both of them. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I like that deep dish.
Me and Mike was funny when we were eating the person's sandwich.
Yeah.
We started off by eating around where they bit.
Of course.
But do not worry. At some point, we got to the part where they put it up to their mouth, and we fucking downed that part, too. Because by then, it was our sandwich.
Yeah, of course. There's more of you on that sandwich than them.
I got more of my DNA on that sandwich That's right.
That's
You're
an
exactly
NCI
right.
line.
There's a lot of DNA on
There's
that
more
sandwich.
Carolla DNA than that other guy.
If you were going to use that sandwich and clone somebody off it, you'd get me
Way more
versus the
Carolla.
guy who bought the sandwich.
They can't even find that
They
guy.
can't touch it.
No.
Yeah, love that. So I don't know. If you are happy being a waiter, then you are a happy person, or at least an adjusted person. Like, you have to interact with a lot of people. It's a lot of whatever you push out comes back,
I
right?
agree.
If you're shitty and short, whatever,
Absolutely.
or you're fun and you're funny, and you're probably always funny.
Yeah, and by the way, that's what our job is. At least in the beginning, before, like, you obviously have complete control here, but it's like in the beginning, you're meeting people, you're selling yourself.
You want to know the greatest prank ever played upon a waiter? I'm just gonna say this great. Not a lot of pranks played on waiters.
Sure.
But this is a good prank. Morton's, the steakhouse.
Love it.
Was on the west side. There's one in like Burbank, but there's another one
Yes.
on the west side. Me and Jimmy and Daniel, Man Show guys, there with Jennifer Heffler and Lisa Page, which are two female producers. And then at the beginning of the Man Show, they'd always take us out for steak dinner, a traditional with them. It's sort of a celebration for a new season of the Man Show. Morton's, back in the day, they don't do it anymore. They'd push the cart out.
Of course.
And the cart had the sirloin, and it was wrapped up, and it had the tomahawk steak, and they had a lobster on there. And the lobster was alive, but had the rubber bands on, and it
Yep.
was in its catatonic phase, but
Yeah.
it was sitting there.
Yeah.
And then they had the slice of cheesecake or the souffle or whatever it is.
Yes, the desserts, yes.
They push the cart out and they do a display.
Yeah.
You weren't going to get that steak, but this is what their porterhouse looks like.
It's window shopping.
It's window shopping, and this is the whole main lobster we have. Set that down, whatever. They're doing a presentation to the table next to ours. Daniel just quietly reaches across, grabs the lobster, puts it in his lap,
Love it.
and we continue on with the conversation. The woman, waitress, is doing the presentations. She's like, and we have our porterhouse, and you see her turn, and she could see the lobster wasn't there. But she did the Chuck Schumer hiccup fart, and then she turned around. She's like, this is our 16-ounce porterhouse. You could tell her mind was, where's the fucking lobster now? And then she put it, she go, and this is our ribeye. You can see when she looked, she's doing a little extra scan. And of course, every time she turned around, we just go right back to our conversation. She had no fucking idea what was going on. And then you could see her, she wasn't going to break though. Like, she didn't want to go, oh my God, the lobster's escaped. She just kept on with her presentation, but she was constantly looking back, looking at where the lobster was, and then she'd go for the dessert or something and hold that up. About the fifth time she did it, she turned around. Daniel just pulled the lobster out and set it right back where it was, and then we got right back to our conversation
Amazing.
again. And then she turned around, and then she's like, and our souffle. Oh. We have a lobster. We got a 3-pound lobster. And we never said a word. She didn't say anything. And she just moved on. And somewhere there's a middle-aged woman who has a story about a lobster that disappeared.
She goes, my dementia started at work one day.
From the train. And then at some point returned.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone is saying she's nuts because it's impossible. The thing had like a high end on it. Like, it had an edge on it and stuff. The
Cheryl,
lobster wasn't going anywhere.
We got to let you go, Cheryl.
I am telling you, I'm not dreaming this.
You sound, I thought the alcoholism was under control, and it feels like you brought it to work.
It is. I drink socially. Do not believe Manny, the bar back. He's full of shit. I'll tell you that right now. I don't want to be treated like a farmer who saw a UFO. This shit happened. You understand?
It happens to you.
So we never said a word. I could never figure out how she got that fucking lobster came
Amazing.
back. But that's the greatest prank ever played on a waitress. All right, we'll take a break. Rudy's coming. Johnny, you want to hang out and do news?
I got to bounce. I got an audition. But I love you. And I'm
I
happy
love
to be
you.
here.
Dates. I'll give all the dates.
Zanies, I'm playing Chicago. Rosemont coming up.
Great place, by the way.
I love
Rosemont's
one of my
great.
favorite clubs.
The best. Awesome. It's just there.
Incredible.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Back with Rudy and News right after this. O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers helpful service and parts and knowledge, the stuff you need to maintain and repair your automobile. Look, when I'm stuck on a car problem, I always call O'Reilly. They got thousands of parts and accessories in stock, either in store or online, although I like going in the store because I like that smell. It smells like progress. They'll test your battery for free. If it needs to be replaced, they'll help you find just the right one. So, whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll find the professional parts people, the O'Reilly Auto Parts, are knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, they are friendly. I'm always going in there. If I'm annoyed with some issue, I leave feeling much better because they always help me sort it out. And like I said, they held the door for me last time I was there, and they didn't even know who I was. It's your one-stop shop for all things auto do-it-yourself. And if you're a DIY guy like myself, you go either in-store or you go online. Am I right, Dawson?
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
Hello, and welcome to Pluto Phone. If you know the name of the movie you would like to see, just stream it for free on Pluto TV, where all your blockbuster favorites are landing all summer long. Catch Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Fantastic. The Matrix Trilogy.
Welcome to the real world.
Mean Girls.
Shut up.
Titanic.
I'm the king of the world.
And so much more. For showtimes, press nothing. They're free 24/7.
That is so fetch.
On Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. It's Brad. I live up in Summit County, Colorado, west of Denver. I've been a carpenter for about 30 years. I couldn't agree with you more about the learning to be thick-skinned, and you have to learn by tips. People telling you how to do it along the way. There's no school for carpentry. But doing it for 30 years, I never heard the tip. Score your board with a knife first to avoid the chipping. We always tape. I'm a general contractor now. I'm going to let all my carpenters know that trick's going to work. We'll check it out. Let you know how it goes.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Tape is good, I guess. They didn't really have blue tape when I was a carpenter so much. It was just like masking tape. It gets kind of shitty and hard, but it wasn't around. You take a straight edge, 4-foot level or whatever, and just take your utility knife, the same knife you cut drywall with.
Sure.
And just use that straight edge and just score it. If you're doing like a finish ply, like an oak or maple or something like that.
Of course.
And you got to stay on the right side of the side you scored, because if you get into the, you have to stay to the outside of the scored line.
Yeah.
But when it kicks up those burrs, like when you get, saw kerf, or like when it comes out shitty, it's just the very top veneer of it. And if you score it with the razor, it doesn't kick up.
Yeah, you usually get that
Cleaner
with
cut.
the little bit of the thicker blades, correct? Like you get that chipping when you're cutting. You want a little bit more of a finer tooth saw, correct?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Rudy. If you want to use there's just a basic combination blade, just basic blade. That's like for framing.
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing finish with it.
Sure.
Then there is something called a plywood blade, which is just a bunch of little miniature teeth, like a little kitten cat, just whole bunch of little. That's for like panel blade or something like that. But if you want to go with a carbide, like a 40 tooth or something, or 60 tooth I don't know if it's 60, but like a nice sharp carbide, the sharper the blade, the better results you're going to have. But if you're just doing framing, then who needs a $40 blade?
Yeah.
use a combination blade.
Yeah, it really opens up your whole world when you discover stuff like this, the pilot hole, things that give you a better product at the end.
Yeah, I don't know the gay lingo like you do, so I'd have to look. I'd have to ask Andrew what the pilot hole was.
Yeah.
Is that the name of a bar? Is that a hole in something at the bar?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the divider between the stalls?
No, the pilot hole is where I work.
Oh, you work at the pilot. Oh, you have a glory hole in the pilot hole.
Yes, an improv glory hole fun zone.
Yes. Yeah, pilot holes are good. Got to have that pilot hole. All right, what do you got, Rudy?
All right, so you may have seen this. Joe Rogan and Vice President JD Vance spend nearly 2 full minutes exposing the Los Angeles mayoral race. We got a clip from the Rogan podcast with JD Vance. It's crazy that some of this stuff, well, we'll just play the clip. Go for it.
First of all, what happened with the last election in Los Angeles, just the primary, I think was
crazy.
So super sus.
Yes,
and
it
here's
is.
why it's super sus. Not just super sus that Spencer Pratt, who was in second place, got overtaken by Nithya Raman in the mail-in ballots, but that the mail-in ballots also passed a tax hike. The people voted to pay more taxes.
Yep.
In a state where you have the highest
taxes. That's right.
They're like, we don't pay enough. That is insane. Then when you have direct evidence that they were recruiting homeless people.
That's right.
And they were getting homeless people and giving them cigarettes and cash. There's evidence of this. To use their address and mail-in ballots.
Yeah, I would be the Californian Joe who wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I'm going to go and vote for higher taxes.
I don't pay enough.
I don't pay enough taxes.
I feel like we can fix this if I just pay 5%
more taxes. The crazy thing about it, too, is it's that, okay, so after the initial ballots all came in, it was Karen Bass was number 1, Spencer Pratt was right behind her, and then number 3, whatever this woman's name is. Nithya Raman. Okay, so you would expect the mail-in ballots to be more or less like the original ballots in terms of 1, 2, and 3. I'm not saying Spencer Pratt's going to win the mail-in ballots, but it just so happened that the third place person in relative terms did a lot better than the first and second place person.
Disproportionately better.
Such that the Republican was actually kicked out of the race so that there's not actually a real election in California. That, to me, was the crazy part. It's like you were designing the vote share in order to kick Pratt out and put the third person into second place. That, to me, is like very, very bizarre.
The New World Order for Democrats is there are not enough crazy people to vote Democrat anymore. We now need illegals and homeless. Like, we need a group that doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because your ideas, the Democrat ideas, to law-abiding, God-fearing, heterosexual couples with kids who go to school, who want to save some money, take care of their families, go on vacation, send their kid to a school of their choice, and so on and so forth. Your ideas are so batshit crazy to those people that you can no longer find any purchase with any normal person anymore, because normal people, whatever side of the aisle they're on, do not think men are women and women are men, don't want dudes competing against women, don't want dudes walking into the locker room of their daughter's high school. So your fucking ideas are so retarded that you now need to recruit people that are either out of their mind, on fentanyl, or don't belong in this country, don't speak the language, don't pay taxes, and don't give a fuck. If there's any two groups who don't care about raising taxes, it's illegals who don't pay taxes and homeless people who don't work. So you can get all the votes you want from those people to push across your fakakta ideas.
Yeah, and how you get them to vote for you is by giving them the things that they want. The drugs, the money. You bring them here from another country. You give them a ton of cash illegally, and then you try to sweep it underneath the rug.
Let's see. Let's listen to them talk about Gavin Newsom. All right.
Past too broad of a brush here, but it's like, you know, Gavin Newsom did this speech a few months ago. The president, I think it's the funniest thing ever, because he's like speaking to a group of black leaders and black businessmen, but it's like an audience that is 95% black. And they're asking him about his dyslexia and his struggle with education. And he basically says, yeah, I'm not very smart like a lot of you. And it's like,
I'm like
whoa,
you. I can't
I'm like
even
you.
read.
I can't even read. It's like,
Meanwhile,
what?
there's a ton of interviews where he's talking about all the books he reads. Like he's so full of shit.
Yeah,
he's
full of shit, but it's
admirably full of shit. But I admire the fucking the sheer tenacity that he has in being full of shit. Because it's
agree.
amazing.
It really is amazing. But it speaks to the incentives of there's kind of like, look, there's a real populism that I'm very much past.
All right, yeah. Yeah, well, he's a sociopath, and Newsom is. And so he just doesn't really care, which is kind of weird because if everybody... I would be bothered if Joe Rogan and JD Vance or Adam Carolla or Dr. Drew or whoever would just constantly kept saying this about me. Like, I'd go, what are they getting at? Like, I don't get it. I feel like a normal dude. Like, what do you mean? Sociopath, narcissist, whatever. It doesn't bother him that he's perceived the way he's perceived.
It's one thing when people do it online to you on YouTube comments and on Instagram, but when it's people that actually carry some weight and some clout and a little bit of influence, wouldn't you want to step into that ring and go, hey man, let me defend myself?
Yes. But they don't. I mean, they don't want to step into that ring because they'll be destroyed. But yeah, Newsom is kind of like all Democrats. They're all race hustlers, I was talking to Sage Steele today about, it was all those years ago he was in here telling me about black and brown people not having access to checking accounts, which is super racist, by the way, because you can get a checking account when you're 10 with your little piggy bank, but they don't have access to it, which is, again, it's like saying they can't get IDs. It's like, well, first off, that's super racist, number one. But number two, if you can't get an ID and you can't get a checking account, maybe
you don't belong here.
Well, maybe you do okay in this country in 1871, but in 2026, no checking account and no ID means you cannot participate. You literally can't participate.
In anything.
In anything. You're not part of our society. As a matter of fact, I don't even want you voting because I don't know what you're voting on. We're voting on stuff that we participate in.
Yeah.
If you have no ID, then you do not participate in anything.
Luckily, they buy groceries and necessities with the cash that our government gives them for being here illegally and voting for them. That's how they do it.
You got Sage brought up me talking to Gavin Newsom with the transcript and the Burt Reynolds thing and how much she loved it. And I kind of forgot about it, but I wouldn't mind hearing 45 seconds of that because the genius of it is it's not Gavin Newsom playing Burt Reynolds. It's me being played by an NPR woman. Because I put a feminine voice to mine. I don't know if you've ever heard this before.
Yeah.
I put a feminine voice to my character and made me into an NPR chick and made Gavin Newsom into Burt Reynolds. And we just read the transcript. But when you listen to it, it does underscore how insane Burt Reynolds and or Gavin Newsom is. And I'll play you a second of it. But Andrew's running around back there, so that's fine. Or we can play it, or we can watch the next clip, or have Rudy's next story, and then we'll circle back to it. I'll just play a few minutes of it. All right. So here's.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, no. This isn't the clip. This is the next story.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Sorry. So John Leguizamo says his odyssey in Hollywood has been fighting for Latino representation. Here you go. Here's the clip.
What's been your odyssey in terms of fighting for your identity or your Hollywood career?
Well, it's always been a battle. I mean, Hollywood is not the most accepting place. Even though we Latin people are 30 to 40% of the box office and a third of streamers, we're still not represented. We're the most underrepresented, aggressively underrepresented group in America. So that's been my odyssey, to try to bring some parity.
What's been...
First off, this notion of you're underrepresented, I feel like I'm underrepresented. Like, What I'm saying is go fucking represent yourself.
Yeah.
What do you mean somebody's going to represent? Who's in charge of representation is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Also, he just gave two stats that 30 to 40% of the box office and a third of streamers are all Latino. And so how are you being underrepresented?
I think what he was saying also, it is so fucking obnoxious, and that's part of it. It's all narcissism, but it's like it's so obnoxious. Like for people like to go, "Hey, Adam, who do you like in the World Cup?" And I'd go, "As an Italian American, yeah, Italy's not in the World Cup." As an Italian American, just shut up and give me a fucking answer. We get it. You're Mexican.
Yeah.
We get it. You're black. We get it. You're dyke. We get it. You're gay. We get it. We get it. Now just answer a fucking question, would you?
We get that you're a gay black dyke. We
That's
get all
right.
of
You
that.
have
Yes.
to fucking work the Latina shit
Yeah.
and the Latino shit in and do every conversation. Now, I think weirdly what he was trying to say is we make up the audience. It didn't come out that way.
30.
See, he didn't
Latin
say
people are
that.
30%. He was saying 30 to 40% of the box office, not actually financially. What is being made in Hollywood is 30 to 40% of Latino people, but that the box office, that Latino people are going to see movies and also streaming.
I think what he was saying, it didn't come out that way.
No.
We can watch it again because otherwise he's having a brain aneurysm because he's going, we're underrepresented. No, what he's saying, you know what he's saying? I think what he's saying is me going, there are not enough Italians playing in the NBA. NBA is comprised of 30 to 40% Italians.
Yes.
But him saying at the arena.
Yeah.
I think he's saying in the stands.
I'm glad you brought that. Yeah, it's funny that now that you bring it up, I see it that way. But every story that I've read and every clip that I've watched about this afternoon all pointed to him saying, hey, didn't the stats you just give out totally contradict what you were saying?
Well, first off, we'll watch it again, but how could there be... Well, first off, John Leguizamo never stops complaining. So, but look around... It's not 30 to 40% Latino. It's impossible. He works in the industry, and his big beef is having a beef about non-representation. Let's play it again. By the way, just answer the fucking question about what's fun. All right, here we go.
What's been your odyssey in terms of fighting for your identity or your Hollywood career?
Well, it's always been a battle. I mean, Hollywood is not the most accepting place, even though we Latin people are 30 to 40% of the box office and a third of streamers. We're still not represented. We're the most aggressively underrepresented group in America. So that's been
By the way,
to try to...
I love the guy's feverish head nod, which is all these fucking people do, this pussy from Variety. Like, he doesn't go, wait a second, 30, 40% on screen? So you're saying you're underrepresented?
No pushback.
Watch it again. Watch this guy's fucking... There should be bobblehead night for guys who work at Variety.
What's been your odyssey in terms of fighting for your identity
All right,
or
let's
your
count the
Hollywood
head
career?
nods. You ready?
Well, it's always been a battle.
1,
I mean,
2, 3,
Hollywood
4.
is not the most accepting place, even though
5.
we Latin people are
More
30
head nod.
to
Here
40% of the box office and a third of streamers. We're still not represented. We're the
What
most
you say makes no sense.
aggressively underrepresented
Slower
group
nod, faster
in
nod.
America. So that's been my odyssey to try to bring
I have no
some
fucking
parity.
idea what you're saying. You sound like a racist piece of shit.
Yeah, also, fuck these reporters that come out and ask these questions that set these guys up because they know exactly what the answer is going to be. It's bullshit.
Well, hey, journalist, you're allowed to go. Wait a minute. Are you saying there's 40% of the people in movies are Latino, or are you saying they're 40% of the movie-going crowd? All right. I believe what he's saying is we make up the audience. Where's our representation? He cannot be saying we make up the representation. Where's our representation? This, by the way, is how you can know the answer to every question, because you can't listen to what people say anymore because they don't make sense.
Sure.
Leguizamo. By the way, Leguizamo's been working for 37 years uninterrupted. Was telling about how hard it is for the Latina to get a job or Latino to get a job. All right. So everyone's dragging him because he misspoke. He's trying to say the audience. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, and they always talk about this nonsense with all these groups that are underrepresented. There's two groups of people that are definitely underrepresented, and it's short people, short men, and tall women.
That's right.
There is not a CEO of a Fortune 500 company that is under 6 foot and is a male. That's an absolute fact. And there's a whole episode of Blackish. Keep nodding, please. There's a whole episode of Blackish that came out, and that's all they did the entire episode was discriminate against short people. And then inside of the episode, they also talked about how it's okay to discriminate against short people, and nobody came back. We're the most underrepresented class of people in America.
Preach. Yep.
And we make up 30 to 40% of all the step stools that are being used in movie theaters today.
Underrepresented.
Do you know how many extra large popcorn bins we could be hiding in that people could smuggle us into movies? But instead, we go and we pay full price. We're not even using the full seat, Ace.
Preach,
the full seat in that theater. AMC is, you could be selling 2 to 3 more tickets, but you don't. We could be piling in, give me a trench coat and a goddamn extra large coffee, and we're going to be smuggling in. Me, Brad Williams, Chuck from behind the glass, we're all going to see on one ticket. That's who's
Feet
going.
never touch the floor.
That's
once
right.
You're seated.
That's right.
Morgan and Morgan. Well, I've known people who got hurt in accidents that weren't their fault, and they tried just to tough it out. No lawyer, no help, just hoping the bills and the pain would magically sort themselves out. Spoiler alert, they don't. That's where Morgan and Morgan comes in. Morgan and Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They've recovered more than $30 billion for over 500,000 clients. That's a serious track record. So if you're injured because someone else was negligent, you deserve to be paid. Don't try to white knuckle it alone. Reach out to Morgan and Morgan. Morgan and Morgan, well, they're pros, and they'll fight for you. Am I right, Dawson?
If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan and Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. Yes, that's right. Their fee is free unless they win. To learn more, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or click the link in the description below. To learn more, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or click the link in the description below. This is a paid advertisement.
Shopify. Recently, I started my merch store, and setting it up couldn't have been easier. Shopify made it so that we could get the store up and running quickly, and the design process for the website was so smooth. Don't be the type of person that makes excuses about business. If you have an idea, launch it today and use Shopify to get yourself going. Shopify handles the setup and checkout, so you have more time to focus on growing your business, and they give you the tools to do it. With Shopify, nothing stands between your idea and a real business. So go make it one. With Shopify, right, Dawson?
See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/Carolla. Go to shopify.com/Carolla. That's shopify.com/Carolla.
All right, Burt Reynolds. This is the transcript. This is Gavin Newsom's own words.
You know what I'd love to see, real quick, is, you know when Conan used to do the
mouth.
Yes, we got to get that in there. That would be great.
I will play the part of the NPR female reporter, and this is a verbatim transcript.
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families have no access to a checking account or an ATM, things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account.
What's wrong with them?
Well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't.
Why do Armenians have them?
But where they end up is a check cashing place.
But I want to know, why those groups? Why do those two groups not have access?
Just happens to be that we can talk about...
Are they flawed?
No, they're hardly flawed, but they're struggling.
Genetically flawed?
Hardly. absolutely not.
Do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have problems. A lot of whites have these problems.
So it's not just black and Hispanic?
No, but it...
Well, why did you bring up black and Hispanic?
Because the magnitude is ominous.
But why so many of them?
It just happens to be just the magnitude.
That's the way God planned it?
Not at all.
Well, what happened to them?
There are a lot of issues, and communities are struggling.
Why are they struggling?
A lot of different reasons.
Hispanics have been here, blacks have been here longer than we have been here.
Well, we can surmise...
What about Asians? They were put in internment camps.
Yeah. In fact, it all initiated out of San Francisco. The Chinese Exclusion Act came out of progressive San Francisco.
So are they at the check cashing places?
A lot of Asians certainly do.
Oh, so why don't you include them?
Because then the only reason why is the magnitude of the problem.
But there's no way to figure out how that happened.
We could talk about, you know what I'm dealing with? I don't want to have a sociological debate.
Sure. Why would you? Why would you want to do that? Because the person from the Times wouldn't write good things about you if you did that.
No, that's not the case. Because I want to deal with reality.
You want to deal with reality? I can tell you what reality is.
People are struggling. People are suffering. I want to deal with the problems in a pragmatic way.
Why are they struggling and why are they suffering?
We can hold hands and surmise about all these other reasons.
I don't want to do that. I want to know why they're struggling. Why are they struggling?
A lot of folks are struggling because they can't find jobs.
Why blacks and Hispanics?
Across the board, all socioeconomics.
So everybody is struggling?
Everybody is struggling.
So Asians are suffering just as much as blacks?
The face of welfare is not an African-American family.
Oh, so it's Asian, Jewish, it's all of them?
Caucasian.
Okay, we're all struggling.
A lot of folks are struggling.
Okay.
That's unbelievable.
Sounds like a fucking insane retarded person, right?
Well, luckily...
He's a problem solver, that one.
Yeah. Well, luckily in the last 11 years, he's been able to explain himself from that interview with all the conservative podcasts and talk shows he's been on since that day.
I just asked him how we were going to solve a problem that he brought up. I never brought it up.
Yeah.
He brought it up. I just asked what the problem was.
It's unbelievable.
Sounds like a sociopathic, retarded nut job.
Oh, and it's because of all the homeless people that they pay and all the all the minorities that come in, all the immigrants that come in. It's going to be everybody who is going to vote this guy in, and that's going to be the dude who is running our country. It's going to be a terrible day.
Also, the reason he's a sociopath is about the fifth time somebody asked me the same thing, I would kind of catch on that I sounded like a fucking lying idiot and didn't know. Like he's literally, and it's like anyone who's had a conversation with a 7-year-old, you know, they go, you go, like, I remember Donnie, who used to use the shop, one day I came here on a Saturday, and stupid people don't know they're stupid, you know, so they just talk that way. And so, like, I came in on a Saturday, I walked in, and the big 50-gallon air compressor kicked on in the back. And air compressors are weird because they kick on and they kick off. The little ones, though, they pretty much just run all the time because they have no hopper. But one with a big hopper, 25-gallon, fires up, stops, stays stopped. You can do shit, doesn't fire up again. And then at some point, you get up and you're starting to walk out and you hear it fire up again. You go, oh, the air compressor. You forget the air compressor's on, just like you would forget a vacuum cleaner was on if it shut off, but it was still on.
Sure.
And then you'd go to bed and you'd hear the vacuum cleaner kick on in the middle of the night. That's what happens with air compressors. So I came here on a Saturday and the air compressor was running, which is a big draw. Lots of voltage.
Yes, electricity-wise.
Yes, yeah. And that, by the way, I got here Saturday morning. That means it was running on and off all night.
It's not a crowd that is drawn. It's a lot of people standing around.
Big draw.
Yeah.
So then Donnie comes in, and I go, Donnie, I think you left the air compressor on. And then he goes, I shut the air compressor off. Then I say, was there somebody else? Were you using the air compressor yesterday? And he goes, yeah, but I shut it off. Was there somebody here else using the air compressor? No. Well, then I'm going to go on a limb and say you left it on, Donnie. Then he looked at me and said, no, I shut it off. I go, well, it was on when I got here. So you left it on, but it wasn't running, but you left, but you never shut it off. I shut it off. Now we get to the Gavin Newsom part. and the talking to a 4-year-old part. I go, so do you think somebody broke in, like maybe snuck through an air vent or something? There's no tampering. Just turned the compressor on, didn't steal anything, and then snuck out through a vent tube or something that I'm aware of?
Full diehard through a duct?
Yeah, and they go, I don't know. But I shut it off. Okay. What you don't realize is when you're talking to other people, you sound fucking retarded. You sound stupid. But when you're stupid, so you don't know you sound stupid. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Gavin Newsom doesn't know what he sounds like when he's telling me for the 18th time. It just happens to be that way. By the way, is that a problem solver? Hey, black people and Hispanics are struggling. What's going on? Just happens to be. Just is. And then I'm going to bring up Jews, and you're going to tell me that there's Jews at the check cashing place.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
He's a sociopathic nut who doesn't realize how fucking dumb he sounds.
Yeah. And they do this a lot with not only, stats, but they try to turn it around in a way that always makes them look good. Because I had a conversation with somebody this weekend about the Apache, the Black Hawk helicopter that went over Florida on the 4th of July. And I was like, can you believe that they suspended those helicopter pilots? And they go, it's the 4th of July, man. They should just let these guys be able to, wave the flag and have the helicopter come over. It's a nice little sign on the 250th celebration of America. And I go, yeah, that's great. You see that Pete Hegseth said, these guys aren't actually suspended. Well, they probably shouldn't be flying that close to the beach. And I was like, okay, well, you can't have it both ways. You can't bullshit both ways here.
All right, let's do one more if you got it.
Yeah, we got a couple of here. Let's do this one. So Joe Biden has announced that he has written a book about his time as a president, and boy, oh boy, this should be great. Of the 81 million enthusiastic voters who totally exist and are excited about this, boy, they really should be head over heels about his book. There's no way in hell that this guy sat down and wrote a book.
No,
this thing out.
The foreword was written by the AutoPen.
The AutoPen.
That's right. He didn't write anything.
No, of course not.
The clip is great. His commercial's great because he barely gets through the commercial.
That's why they have to keep cutting to all these different things.
Since I left the presidency, I've had a lot of people ask me, Joe, what have you been doing?
Let me look at this binder full of stuff.
I've been spending a lot of time with my family. I'm dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and I've been getting treatment, and it's been going really well.
That's the 61st take that they took.
I want to thank all those who offered their prayers, their support, and well wishes. It's meant the world to me and to Jill. I've written a book about my time as president. It's called Promise Me America. It's coming out in November, and it's available for pre-order now. It's about the challenges we face as a nation, about the decisions I made, and why I made them. Leading the country through COVID.
Leading the country
rebuilding our economy and restoring our democracy after the attack on January 6th.
All right, by the way, okay. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Rewind 10 seconds to hear him try to say Afghanistan. Good.
Leading the country through COVID, rebuilding our economy, and restoring our democracy after the attack on January 6th. Ending our nation's longest war in Afghanistan.
All right, pause it. January 6th started after lunch and ended before dinner on one day. One day. January 6th started well after lunch, 2-something in the afternoon, and finished well before dinner, one day in one place with no fires. That's you restoring our democracy? Jesus fucking Christ. The 7-course meal these fucking retards are trying to make out of January 6th is insane. It's insane. Ferguson was 10 times the event of January 6th, you fucking idiots. It was 2.5 hours where nobody was killed except for a chick who got shot in the face by a cop you guys now protect.
Yeah, this is like 6 months ago. You made a comment about how good looking a waitress was, and your wife keeps going. Remember that time you said that?
Remember
Like,
that time.
Yeah,
remember that time.
You fucked Jim from The Office.
That's right.
Let's talk about who did something more egregious.
And you just keep fucking bringing it up. He saved it. What do you think he did to save us from January 6th? By the way, what happened on January 6th? I don't get why was it so dangerous? By the way, if you're going to make up shit, I'm already out on your fakakta book. If you're going to go January 6th, I'm out. Mm-hmm. That is a fucking zero burger. There was nothing close to losing our democracy. Now, you forcing everyone to get a vaccine they didn't need, that was an experiment. There's an experiment. That is close to losing a democracy right there. You guys taking an experimental vaccine and forcing every school-age kid to take it throughout the United States. That is an assault on our democracy.
I bet every chapter is going to be written specifically for a demographic. Like one will be written in, Ebonics. One will be written in Braille. One will be written, one will be written like see Joe steal money. See Jill back Joe.
I want to hear all the stories. I want to hear about Corn Pop. I want to hear about the two fellas kissing in Scranton in 1949. I want to hear it all. All right, tomorrow night, Austin, Cap City Comedy Club. I'll be there. And then Saturday night, 2 shows, Cap City as well. Then Huntington Beach, Sea Lakes. Great place. That'll be July 25th. 26th, maybe Rudy will be out for the 26th.
I will.
Torrance, mom said yes. Great fun place out there. Jonathan Kite's going to be July 23rd, 24th, 25th, Rosemont, Il-Zanies. That is a fun club. Good club. What do you got, Rudy?
I'll be with Jonathan Kite at Zanies in Rosemont. And then this weekend, you can catch me at Looney's Comedy Corner, Colorado Springs on Friday and Saturday, 2 shows each night.
So, till next time, Adam Crawford, with Jonathan Kite and Rudy PAVICH saying mahalo.